Knowing how to correctly price your dropshipping products determines whether or not you'll be able to capture the purchases from interested website visitors that came from your ads. And in this video, I'm going to be showing you guys how you should be pricing your dropshipping products and all factors you need to take into account. And I personally guarantee that if you follow everything in this video, by the end of this video, you will know how to actually price your products and get yourself some orders just like me. A lot of beginners make the mistake of selling their products for an unreasonable price and then complain when not a single person buys it. Or they don't understand that they simply have to spend more on ads if they're shooting for a higher average order value. The most important metrics to understand before pricing your products are your break-even CPA and your break-even ROAS. I recommend a break-even ROAS of less than 1.7 because it would be easier to get sales and scale with a lower break-even ROAS. CPA stands for cost per acquisition, and in this case as dropshippers we are targeting purchases, so you could also call it our cost per purchase. Figure out what your average profit per order is, and that is your break-even cost per acquisition. So for example, if you're sourcing a product for $10 and you're selling it for $20, your BECPA is $10. And your break-even ROAS is the ratio in which spend to revenue will break even. Now, in order to calculate my product price relative to the break-even ROAS and break-even CPA, I use an ECommerceKPI Calculator, and that will be linked in the description for free, so make sure you check it out because it is extremely important. So here we are on my ECommerceKPI Calculator. As you can see, it has multiple different rows for your AOV, cost per unit, targeted profit. I always shoot for at least 30% profit, and the rest is gonna come through once you fill these in. So let's, as I said earlier, assume you're selling a product for, sourcing a product, sorry, for $10. Alright, and now you wanna sell it for 20. So as you can see, our break-even ROAS would be 2, which is way too high. As I said, you want to shoot for at least 1.7 or less than 1.7. So that's not gonna do. So basically what you can keep doing is just increase the price slowly until that break-even ROAS goes under 1.7. So 22 is still too high, 23, 1.77, that's still too high, 24, 1.71, that's still too high, 25, teetering on the edge of failure. If you can sell it for higher, then for sure go for it. So let's try maybe 30. As you can see now, our break-even ROAS will be 1.5. And this gives us around maybe an 80 to 85% margin before paid ads, which is essential for you to even scale a product. Let's try again with a different one. Let's say you want to source a product for $63. Alright, so let's say you want to sell it for 120. Break-even ROAS 2.11. Let's try 130. Nope. 140, 170, 1.59. I can work with that. Additionally, it shows you your cost per purchase for targeted profit. Now your profit is simply going to be your target cost per purchase minus your break-even cost per purchase. And I have an entire video explaining all of these and why they're important when you're running ads, and that video should show up in the top right. And make sure you account for everything when you're calculating your break-evens. Calculate your processing fees, shipping, the product cost, etc. And this also applies for every offer you test, as you'll need to calculate the corresponding break-even. Now you want to make sure that when you're selling a product, the price actually matches the perceived value. For example, you can't go selling the back posture corrector for $100, man. It's simply not worth that much. Hell, it's not even worth 50. Alright, so it has to make sense in your audience's mind. You can't sell a product at a certain price just because you want to. Alright, nobody cares what you want. I don't care, bro. The only person that you should be concerned about is the customer, because the customer makes you. So don't just sell any product at a $15 to $20 margin just because that's the margin you want. Next, you need to make sure that you're actually selling your product more expensive than the Amazon price. And now you're wondering, why the hell would I do that? Shouldn't I be selling it cheaper so competitors see me as the better option? No, do not try and compete with Amazon. You can't. You and Amazon are in very different situations. See, Amazon lives off of organic traffic. On the other hand, you are paying for traffic, you're paying for customers. So they have no need for ads. Their margins are way higher than yours are going to be. So trying to undercut yourself, you and your product will go up in flames. Now, pricing yourself as more expensive than Amazon will work. You just simply have to raise the perceived value, and you can do that by using a different marketing angle, highlighting specific benefits that other people forgot to, or even better, selling a more improved version of that product. Now, one thing many dropshippers forget is to get their pricing dialed in ahead of time. For example, if you're doing a buy two get two free, you need to make sure you and your supplier have discussed an accurate cost of goods sold before you even think of publishing that offer. It shouldn't be a per unit rate. The additional units should be less. So for example, if you're selling a buy two get two free and the costs to fulfill one order from the supplier, your cost of goods sold is $10. Now, buy two get two free, you're gonna be shipping out 4. It should not be costing you $40 to ship out 4. Instead, you should be having a discount on the supplier side to increase your margin for profit, because the whole point of offers is so that you can actually make more profit. Always prioritize your profit while also balancing it out with the consumer price. So what does this mean? Let's say instead of the whole thing being 40, maybe you have it for 33. That's a whole extra $7 you can play with, and playing around with that at a $10 AOV is huge. And this makes the bundle a win-win for both you and the supplier. You're making more profit and he's selling more products while still making profit. Now here's some free sauce for y'all, because you know on this channel, everything at face value. I'm not gatekeeping shit. So free shipping is a terrible offer. People are used to paying for shipping at this point, so use that to maintain your AOV while abusing the consumer psychology. And the reason they're used to paying for shipping is because during the you know what I mean, people could really not go out and buy anything. They had to ship it, and the rest was history. Now, what I was saying about balancing out the AOV. See, when your customers see a high initial price on the product page, they are less likely to add to cart and initiate a checkout, because the big price scares them away. Oh, $45 for whatever it is you're selling. But if you are to sell that thing for $35 and $10 shipping, now it actually sounds a bit more reasonable, when at the end of the day they're just paying the same amount of money. Additionally, that customer will have already reached the checkout page, and it's no rocket science that if someone has already reached checkout, they're most likely going to purchase, as compared to someone who just hopped on the website, looked at the price and was like, oh, so that's what we're talking about. Do you understand what I mean? So this way they encounter the additional $10 at checkout. You can also try to further increase your AOV in the shipping section by including different tiers of shipping. So you can have your normal shipping and then offer faster shipping at a higher price. For example, you have $10 climate neutral shipping and $15 priority shipping, which is actually what I'm running right now on my product, which made me $45 yesterday. And include the amount of days it will take for each option to be shipped, so that they know exactly how much of a benefit they are getting by paying for faster shipping. People want to see the numbers. That's also why I showed you my numbers in the hook of the video. Think like that. You need to abuse this psychology to the max. Best part is, if you use CJ Dropshipping as your supplier, you won't have to go through the hustle of arguing with your supplier, because the different shipping options show up right there. And I'm gonna show it to you. In order for the shipping to show up, you actually need to select variants. So as you can see right there, the shipping fee is gonna be $6.8. And I'm assuming this is the cheapest shipping options. Yeah, 10 to 25 days, sorry. So let's scroll down and you can see one right here, 6 to 10 days, CJ Packet Fast US. And that's gonna cost about, let's say, $2.5 more. And we're gonna be selling it for $5 more on our store. So that's literally an extra $2.5 profit, which again will impact your margins in such a healthy way. If you guys are interested in using CJ Dropshipping, then I have a link in the description that will help you get started. And the best part, it's free. Additionally, you could also use an app called Simply Shipping Protection to increase your AOV by a further, let's say, $5, because I really don't try to be too greedy. In my past experience, 90% of my customers actually opted to leave in the shipping protection as part of their order, which gave me an extra $5 of pure profit on my margins, man. As I said, increasing the AOV is all about psychology. And I hope you guys learned something very important from this video, because I've just been spitting straight sauce. No BS, I just came from school. So if you guys appreciate this video, please subscribe. We're about to hit 1,000 subscribers. It's gonna be lit. Drop a like too. And remember guys, stay hard, keep grinding, and never give up. And don't try to sell cheaper than Amazon.